And I say goddamn, as right now I'm recording this right now, so I'm gonna make a video out of this. So talking about Spain after the fact that in my live stream that I talked about Kumba. Goodbye to you, Kumba, but hello, Ceuta. How many freaking migrants just went down in this way? It's just the wildest thing. You know, little I thought, like the Ceuta, I keep saying Ceuta, la Ceuta, la Cuete, la Cueta, la Cuelepa, like, I don't know, bro. I'm too Latin American for Spain, honestly. Even though this Spanish language is from Spain, anyways. Seeing shit like this is something wild. It's unbelievable. And thinking these niggas are just running all the way. The border patrol going off the roof. People are running out there. People are getting shot. A female police officer doing her best to put bullets, trying to keep and control the situation there is so far. I mean, Ceuta is Africa. It's a Spanish territory in Africa. Since then, the migrant crisis has been expanding since the government of Spain, Pedro Sanchez, decided, say, because they did not agree to the UN's accord, to the EU's accord of protecting their borders or protecting their lands, you know, due to this surge, this orchestrated surge of migrants that are being flocked. Because remember, because these new migrant crises that have been happening recently, like there was a time, there was a moment that it was organic, but this one was not. It was more organized, I'll tell you that. But holy shit, that was a good happened. They were looking for jobs. You know, all they just want to do is just, you know, culturally enrich the city, no? I mean, we have to see more of these things going on. I mean, look at this. Nick Shirley has been talking about it.
Right here, it looks like the military has grabbed a group of the guys that are up in the mountain. Now they're all coming down, being walked down the mountain right now. And once again, not a single woman in sight. This is all just a group of men right here, all being escorted down the mountain from the Spanish military. There's another group back there as well. And right here in the mountains, we have another group of people who are getting pushed down the mountain from the Spanish military. It looks like the Spanish military, the Spaniards are starting to do something about this migrant crisis. It has gotten really, really bad. All these people are now fleeing, coming down the mountain, being pushed down from the Spanish military. And the police are coming up right now.
It's wild that the fact that, because Morocco is like the borders of Morocco and Spain. I mean, you could see the mount over the other side of the beach of Ceuta. You can actually see the city, some of the biggest cities of Morocco out there, basically. And and people say, and the people that live in Morocco, there are some that say they live in harsh condition, others say they live in beautiful condition and decided to bust in. And like the moment that they made that announcement, just like a flush. I mean, you've seen photos. There were images. I think there were images like on the very first half that happened here, or videos. It's just barging in, just like flustering, especially not just in Ceuta but in Melilla. Here, what you're seeing here right now is the city, the locals of the Spanish looking for the migrants and beating them out. Yeah. Yeah, because there was a flurry of that. I mean, I've seen many videos recently. I've been seeing many videos of this that's happening, because you see it's all over on TikTok. Dude, these people are going in. Nick Shirley is already in there. I mean, how did Nick Shirley go there so fast? I'm telling you that. That's been such a quick flight compared to these people. Oh my God.
Y parece que ese patrón de comportamiento que a cualquiera que tiene sentido común y de los que estáis aquí ya sabéis a qué responde, pues después de un silencio atronador en los medios de estos días, nos dicen que es un brote psicótico. Yo no sé por qué los brotes psicóticos siempre le dan a los mismos. Pero es que resulta que acabamos de conocer esta tarde que el tipo en cuestión ya había sido detenido en Burgos, atacando a la policía, también al grito de Alá es grande. Allí tuvo otro brote psicótico. Y cada vez que tiene un brote psicótico, grita Alá es grande, como el que asesinó al sacerdote también en Andalucía. Y ahora nos han dicho que no estaba en sus cabales. No, desde luego que no están en sus cabales. Están llenos de fanatismo religioso que no queremos en nuestro suelo. Estamos absolutamente hartos de esta invasión patrocinada por los partidos políticos desde hace mucho tiempo. Y hablamos con claridad porque tenemos respuestas y tenemos valor para aplicar las políticas que otros no se atreven a aplicar. El que entra ilegalmente en nuestra patria y el que pisa nuestro suelo sin permiso se va por donde ha venido.
Es como lo mismo que pasó en acá en Estados Unidos en 2024 durante la época de Joe Biden. Honestly, because Joe Biden, because it was the same thing that happened in the micro crisis in 2024. I mean, it was just fucking terrible. You had like a fucking like a mass sea of just people just walking through the border like it's nothing. I mean, you see by miles and miles and miles of people trying to enter. You had gangs in there. You had, of course, you had some people trying to get in, trying to make the better living, trying to escape from dictatorship, like the Venezuelans. There was a reasonable cause that were trying to escape. However, unfortunately, who also got in? Terrible criminals, rapists, murderers, pedophiles, terrorist sympathizer. Literally, I mean, even in Chinese migrants, right, who all military age men. There were very few women and children involved. Yes, I see a lot of women and children involved, but the majority of the migrants were all men, young men, and they had a good number of them, a good half of them had a goal. They had a goal. They weren't there to make a better life. They were there trying to wreck some shit. That was another thing that happened in there. And that's what they're saying. You know, that's what's actually happening in Japan, right? Many YouTube videos right now, they're talking about how, the Islam is trying to spread in Japan, and then they instantly regret it. They got deported, and they got this, and they got that. They say, Japan's doing the right thing. Japan is this. That's what we need. Japan is going to be strictly Japanese forever, and it's gonna be. I've been looking at Japanese Twitter recently, and they're saying comments right now of a mass influx of migrants starting to skirt up even higher now, because yes, they deported a good number of them, a good mass percentage, but that did not stop there, because they still have the problem with the Kurdish peoples. They're having problems with African Nigerian migrants that are actually being imported by the Yakuzas. They had a lot of Latinos too, but they were good with them. There was only a few of us, right? But they're also now targeting us Latinos in Japan because of the whole migrant crisis bullshit. But there's a mass importation because Japan is losing people. And don't think that Korea or had never had migrant crisis before. No, they do having migrant crisis over there in East Asia, especially China too. Now China is different because they actually built a town for the Africans, and especially in Hong Kong. Now they're trying. I've seen a comment or two on Twitter, on X, that they are bringing in African migrants from Uganda, from Somalia, from Sudan. They need to make just to escape the living over there, kind of this, because they're losing population. That was the thing. So that happens, but let the world be known, there are some bad apples down the way, and such radical ideologies. I mean, who's to say? God damn, it's like you're ending it's like if you invited a drug dealer into a Barney's Kids store. Basically, that's what just basically happened, man. I mean, shit. I mean, who's to say these faces are here?
They're queuing for water, the army having finally delivered a supply. It's the first bit of assistance most have received since arriving in Ceuta. The chaotic manner of their arrival in Spain's autonomous outpost on the North African coast has inflamed EU tensions over immigration. And while the authorities have sent back most of the mainly Moroccans, among some 60,000 who breached the border, this is the human crisis left behind. Citizens of Sudan, Algeria, Egypt, Mali, Senegal, Somalia.
I don't get about Egypt. Okay, hang on a second. Let me think about this. When did Egypt have a humanitarian crisis? When did Egypt has a sort of poverty rate? You mean Egypt, you're building a new city. Though I'm hearing the stories, I guess, that the new city has failed. I don't know. But Egypt doesn't have a conflict. Maybe perhaps the inflation, that could be the reason, I don't know. But you're talking about like extreme conflict. Like I understand Sudan, because Sudan, there's massacres constantly being funded by the Saudi Arabians. Egypt, that's like Ecuador, honestly. As Ecuadorians, the majority that were migrating to the Darien Gap was because from Guayaquil, because of the cartel violence. But that's because they come from some towns that were not really from Guayaquil. They're from other towns. They're from other places that didn't know about what was the best opportunity there. That's where they're getting manipulated. But Egypt, I'm talking about. That's the same question I asked about the Chinese migrants that are about flocking, that once flocked to the United States border. That kind of gave me a red flag, since I read about China, of the crazy, insane technology they have, and they're crossing the border. Military-aged men, screaming red flag. Egypt, screaming red flag. What are you there for? Then that gave me the reason. Now I'm starting to understand the reason that, yeah, this is just for your economy. Honestly. Seriously, Egypt. What's with Egypt? We need to do inside the migrant crisis.
We just need the asylum. That's always asylum. That's always.
Hey, that's my boy John Boyega.
Asylum.
Yeah.
And then to travel on to Europe.
Possible.
If you have our rights, we will have documents, they will register us, and then they will do what they're supposed to do for us.
But so far, nothing.
No, yes, for now, nothing.
The Spanish government says the border is once more secure, but Ceuta has been overwhelmed. Its migrant reception centre was full even before this crisis. Now humanity spills out onto the embankment below and still further into the valley. People camped in an African ravine in the hope of a European life.
Yeah, for real.
And on the beach, the overflow continues.
Yeah, I wish these motherfuckers could actually stay in the beach and enjoy the beach, man. They could just have the water water might be cold, it's a Mediterranean Sea in the end. It's a Mediterranean Sea. It's nice. Have you ever tried swimming in the water? It feels good. These niggas had a good shower. I'll tell you that. I've seen these niggas just riding away, on the bliss, not just busting the freaking place like this. That nigga, hold up a second. I'm sorry, hold on a second. This guy could easily be confusing me as a Venezuelan, honestly. And then most of them all are men. Oh wait, hold up a second. I can see some women. 3 women over there. And there's even children. Mostly boys. Yeah, bro. Some of these niggas could be easily confused as Puerto Ricans. For real. I mean, who would want probably on that voice? And then here it is too. There's even too now with the Spanish far right who call themselves patriots. They're now hunting migrants in Ceuta, but this was already on July the 1st, and they have been up there for quite a time. Like This was a colonization too. That's too. So for those who don't understand about that, is that also too that because of Ceuta and Melilla and the situation it is too, it's almost kind of like the colonization of Spain. If you think of it, the Moors, because I was in Spain after my high school graduation. I was in the castles of Alhambra and Avila. It's beautiful castles, beautiful temples. Oh my God, oh my days! It looks like it's something out of DreamWorks, like there. But it's all because of the Arab conquest that conquered Spain and left out these lavish, these themes, these artworks that it is unbelievable. Though that was a result of colonization and oppression against the white Europeans who lives in Spain. Oh, Andalus, Alhambra, Avila, all once ran by the Moors until the Crusades. And people are saying that what's happening right here was like a somewhat attempt to recolonize Spain. Although in reality, it was just an operation. It was kind of like a single-handed operation. And so these people trying to get back their city going all the way. And they're saying the migrants too, yeah. Rightfully so. Because they're invading the space. Yeah, no, running their asses. Yep. Yep, look at them. They're taking all of the city back. Like, they're trying to take the street back. It's just nuts. It's really nuts over there. Niggas out there trying to climb over damn fences. They're trying to take over, you know, like, yeah, gotta climb up the walls. This shit, no, I think that shit's been around. This video was been around for there. I mean, even comparing this to the migrant crisis, to the border crisis here in the United States back in 2024. This was in 2024, mind you, right? This shit was in 2024. This literally compared to this. This compared to this. This was the result of a president who had a feeling about the use of trying to become the peacemaker of the world, and that made the world like to hell. And then they had already troops already deployed over there right now. Troops already deploying right now on that matter of precision. And that point on. But I think, but as the media says that the border is getting secured, they're trying to bring them back. They're trying to walk their ass
then
back.
Headed to the center of the town with the citizen vigilante Mancia.
And here it is.
Within minutes, we were
citizen vigilante. He's saying.
So now people here to feel safe. They're walking around with their dogs.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, no, it's insane right now, right? And how shit like this is about to happen. It's insane how that you got a president who decided, because they didn't want to listen to the EU's kind of like commemoration and feelings, all of the stuff that this should not be even happening. And honestly, like, it shouldn't be even happening. Goddamn, it really shouldn't be happening. I mean, oh my God. I mean, look at this shit, man. You even got patriots already marching away. Yeah, you got some extremist groups over there too. And they're throwing Nazi signs. Yeah, it's gotten pretty bad. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it's a big, like, I don't know what kind of what he smoked, what kind of shit that the Spanish president had smoked. I mean, he's probably smoked some good DMT or some shit like that. It's a stupid idea that it was a decision that it was done already before in 2024 that we had in the United States during the time. I mean, remember, people who talked about, who said hell about You know how, oh, poor Joe Biden, you know, that he's the one that caused all this. He's the one that made the mess, all that stuff. He didn't. He was old. He was an old guy that they manipulated, that poor little guy. They manipulated that poor old man into succumbing into that such situation that we had. You know, and I talk about you know, the shit was going on in Japan, that I don't know, for some reason, some fucking reason, that Joey Bissinger does not want to talk about, because he's an immigrant himself. But he just completely just walks away from it. Everyone in the trash, all the three in the trash taste, walks away from it, and he didn't pay attention of the calamity that's gonna happen over there. If you bring over there, it's good to have immigrants. It's good, you know. But do they have the assimilation for it? And now, and most of the immigrants, and what's happening now is also exposing a lot of the type of people that do assimilate versus the ones that don't assimilate. And people of my color, of my skin color, I'm brown, I'm Latino, I'm Ecuadorian, and I'm brown, and it's the same cycle of us. I've talked about this before, that we're just showing weakness to these people, to the world. How we're going to migrate legally if we're showing that type of weakness? You know, Arabs, brown Arabs, and black Africans, you should really, really take a hard L and fucking hang that L around your neck and take it to a ceiling to hang yourselves. Honestly, hang yourselves for this shit, because it's embarrassing. You literally are scarring our name, our identities in vain. You know, mind you too, these Arabs too that who had a privilege, and you know that Morocco has a multitude of different things, and they wanted to jump into this place. You know, this only to resolve now as the border is trying to slow down, secure, you know, trying to be up in the world. But that's not even enough. That's not going to stop us. It's not going to stop us, blacks and browns. It's because what's the mentality over there is survival. That is primitive in our minds, but that's racist, right? Oh, it's racist, homophobic. Over there, man, as much as there's a good variety of things, this got excavated. That's another thing. Remember, I'm talking about two things at the same time. I'm talking about two different ways. Yes, these migrants were stupidly brainwashed about being sent in a cattle operation to send and ship Spain down to the abyss of darkness. But at the same time, there's forces there that are driving them to that state of madness that is hailing from the north, where it's a constant thing over and over again. All right, who's the cause of it? Those who allow the power there be to create a situation that made us that way. Right? And that type of persons are our leaders down there, who allowed such forces up north to excavate, yes, to create the opportunities if you want to be, yes, but that also causes a freaking consequence that makes the everyday citizens to get hungry and get stupid. And matter of fact, half of these fucking migrants are not even hungry at all. They're healthy. They got fucking touchscreen watches. They just want there just for the fuck of it. So get their asses back. And I think that's what should it be. And I'm your boy, Element Reptile. I think that is the answer. And after that answer, I hope we see each other. I'm your artist. There's a graphic illustrator, your designer. We see each other. You bless, BB.